Alright, I'm coming.
Hi everyone, how are we all? And welcome to episode 7 of the Satisfactory No Belt Highways Factory series. Today we're going to look at the copper factory. As you can see here in front of us, we have a giant copper wire, giant copper sheet, and a not to scale cable. Oh hey Frank. Frank? Hang on a minute, if you're here, who's watching the doggos? So below here, we have all of the ore incoming. So 3 Mark II miners and 1 drone. The drone brings in ore from just up on the hill, just over there. Coming around to our entrance, under here, we have a small parking area for our vehicle, a crate for some health, some fuel for the vehicle, etc. So we come up the stairs. We have the entrance to the main factory. The pipe work on here took forever to lay. And we have a billboard that explains what's going on in the factory. So let's proceed inside, shall we? Inside, as we enter, we come across the catwalk and we're presented with the main control hub. In here, we can control the lights, the copper sheets, the cables, the wire, smelters, and the main factory power. Most of this factory requires you to have the hover pack, or at least the jetpack to move around. So in this crate here, we have a backup hover pack just in case you come here and you don't have one with you. So we have 36 smelters in total, 18 on each level. The bottom level is divided into 2. Half of the smelters are providing ingots to the copper sheets, and the other half are providing ingots to the top row of constructors making the copper wire. The top row solely makes ingots for the 2 levels of constructors here. So there's 18 per level, 36 constructors just dedicated to making copper wire for the production of our cables. This row here is the row that's dedicated to our copper wire. And above here we have our central storage for this facility. So the bottom, all the way around, is dedicated to copper wire, and the top is divided into 2, so half for copper sheets and half for cable. And I've placed a pattern in the roof to help break it up, give it some character, and to stop some of the clipping we can see here in the foundations. Along the floor level, we have little buried off areas. This is the copper wire heading to the cable part of the factory. This is the copper sheets coming back into the factory up to storage. Under the catwalk at the entrance, we have all the cabling for this facility. So we have one for permanent power, allowing us to use the hover pack regardless of whether this factory has powered on or not. One for lighting, one for smelters, one for each row of constructors, the cable factory, the copper sheets, etc. Moving back into the central hub, we have a ladder here that lets us get up to the roof if we don't have our hover pack. There's not much up here. We just have an empty room that you can walk around. We're using signs with a little bit of a glow to give it that nice look that it's lit up. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough room in here to put lights in the way I wanted to. But when we come outside, we can see we have 2 drone ports dedicated to cable pickup, 2 dedicated to copper wire, 2 dedicated to copper sheets, 1 dedicated to our battery drop, bringing in all our batteries for all our drone ports, including the one down at the copper ore, and we have a spare one. Of course, this will change in the future depending on our requirements for cables and copper wire and sheets, etc. Now we move to the copper sheet. I used a simple design to try and replicate the metal casing around the copper sheet. And I tried to get a very close match to the copper as I could using the concrete walls. Here we can see is where all the copper sheets and ingots come in and out. You can see down there that I've marked the power cables with signs so that I know which cable is what. We have permanent power, copper sheets, and lights. We can come up the ladder here now. We have a sign telling us how many copper sheets per minute this factory is currently making. And we come inside to a very simple stacked design. Here we can turn off the copper sheets, turn the lights on and off, and to break the floor up I put in some glass panels with some underfloor lighting. We have 13 constructors in this stack. The ingots come in here and simply just split off until they get to the very top. And it's the same on the front here, running in the opposite direction. All the copper sheets merge until they get to the bottom to head back to the main factory. And on the roof of the copper sheet, I've tried to use pipes here to show that we have the copper sheet rolled up on each other on a central spool. I've added some glass panels here to allow some light in. And we can see the flat part of the copper sheet just here. Moving along to the cable part of the factory, we have the copper wire heading in here and the cables coming back out this way, with the power easily marked so that we can see what cable belongs to what. We have another sign telling us how many per minute this factory is currently making. And then we come inside here, we have a simple circle design with the power switch for this factory, light controls, and we have a total of 16 constructors making the cables. To break it up a bit, on the top, I've removed the foundations from in the center and replaced it with glass to make a nice skylight, and I've added layered roofing to make a unique roof style in the center. A lot of people had asked how I'd managed to get the pipes to go up as a wall. As you can see from the picture here, we have the pipe supports laid on top of each other. I achieved this by laying 1 meter foundations at a time until I reached the desired height, and then went back, added the pipes, and then removed the pipe supports. And here you can see the start of my main power grid. This is going to take some time to build, as I have to rebuild this every 12 foundations all around the world to connect all of my grid together. And it's about time that I started doing some work to central storage. I will be ripping all of this out and starting to build it again using all the techniques available in Update 5. Please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell for future videos. And until next time, I'll see you later.